Yeah, I'm co-founder. I'm Daniel. I'm co-founder of a protocol called Metera. First thing when I started this project, when I started in crypto, we were a crypto hedge fund, and we wanted to have an investment thesis on impact. We wanted to invest on those green projects and have a social impact, but we realized that there weren't many tools to do that. So we took it upon us to build one. So the objective for us was to give money and provide market share to those projects that were trying to make an impact and build that bridge between capital and high quality impact solutions. How are we doing it? Well, we created this DeFi protocol because, well, I don't know, in the last decade, we've seen a shift in traditional finance towards environmental and social investments. So we know that's where the money is going, but also the returns have to be good in order for the big companies or the people with the money invest in them. So we think blockchain has the capacity to adopt this trend in a much faster way, and that's why we're making impact portfolios. That it's basically an ETF, as the same as an SP500, but with impact, and right now in Cardano, and eventually we want to move to other chains. So we want to make these impact portfolios, automate all of the asset management, reducing all of the burden for the users. And well, all of this is on a governed by a DAO. So all of the profits from the management fees and transaction fees will be going back into the token holders, and we want to create a community behind it and not be driven by profit that can be made, but the impact that the projects can do. And well, we've developed right now an ESG rating for crypto assets. So we are planning on launching 2 different oracles as protocols down the line. One is for ESG and one for financial. And that's the data program that feeds all of the information into how the percentages have to be done in the portfolio. We are about to launch our dashboard on the next 2 months on a test net where you can visualize the impact of your investments. But one problem we've been going through right now, and that's why we're trying to keep up with Cardano for Climate, is that there's over 200 projects of impact being built in Cardano, but they haven't launched and they don't have funding. So one of our ideas is to help fund those projects with our governance tokens. And well, right now we have one proposal in the apps and integrations. We are using all of the funds to design the front end for critical research for the other versions to build the DAO. And well, we've done a joint venture with M Labs, especially with Ben. They had a successful Fund 7 proposal for the same kind of product, but non-impact related, only a DeFi protocol that makes tokenized portfolios. So we're providing them with the technology, and we're building together, and we're gonna launch this impact product and another similar product, but not impact intended. And that's it. These are not my slides. It's for a guy of M Labs, so I can talk about this. But yeah, thank you.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Very neat.
Yes.
Glad to see this again, Daniel. Dylan, from what I remember yesterday, he's got somebody visiting today. Are you able to do your presentation today, Dylan?
I can talk now. So yeah, we have tour groups out here all the time, and we're doing a lot of research for those people that were just here. So I had to give them my full attention, and they've just left. So we can do a quick tour of the facility for those that sort of haven't seen it. If you want me to do that.
Yeah, let's just back up for a second though, because
yep.
we're pivoting here because Pete does interviews, and
Pete's
there's
fantastic.
this opportunity to have you interviewed Dylan yet,
Yeah,
Pete?
already done. Yeah.
Oh, already
Dylan
done.
and I are in the same city, so it's I'll
Yeah,
see you next Wednesday, Dylan.
We meet up. Yeah, I'll see you Wednesday. Peter's fantastic. His videos are amazing. He's one of the top Cardano interviewers in the world easily. No, you are. You're fantastic. He works very hard, and yeah, if you want the latest information on Cardano, just tune in to Learn Cardano. He interviews everyone, and it's amazing. Yeah, you get a lot of information. So yeah, and we're blessed to be in the same city. So we do. I attend his meetups because he's a Cardano ambassador, and we meet a lot of interesting people. A really good group. There's a significant amount of projects being worked on in Brisbane. So it's a fantastic group. Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah,
It
this
really
is very
surprises
interesting.
me. Yeah, Brisbane's a little bit of a crypto hub, which I really surprised me, and a lot more Cardano people are just appearing out of nowhere. And there's a couple more projects popping out of Melbourne now too, which I just managed to connect with last week. So I'm trying to connect them up to the right people, find developers, which is so hard at the moment, and then also find them funding to actually get things done. So it's a really
I have a
interesting
connection
space.
for you. I have a connection for you to connect to developers, because Neen did his proposal. He spoke about it today at our Cardano for Climate meetup, and it has to do with mentors and mentees. And Snap Brilla itself is this. Do you know about Neen?
Yep,
Oh, you've
sure
interviewed him already. You know this.
I haven't.
Okay,
we've got
so good.
something
So you're
scheduled
way
next
more
week,
connected than me.
yeah.
Fabulous.
Nin's cool. We met last time we were on this Pacific meetup. So yeah, we
Very
know
good,
each other.
because he's talking about launching this now and signing up developers, getting people that other people need, businesses need. So and his database sounds pretty amazing too. So, but yeah, so Pete, Nora, I'm going to just share my screen.
Yeah, go for it.
And because with Cardano for Climate, we have this challenge of, now we've collected a list of 200 social or environmental impact proposals. Either the community has submitted it or we put it in ourselves. I'm finding even more than that. And what I see when I go into idea scale is, oh, that's another one of those proposals. There's another one. Oh, there's another one that looks exactly like that other one. And we're so disconnected. So, Cardano for Climate, we're trying to get people to collaborate, connect first, and then with their proposals to teach them how to reach people. We've put on these Mini-ImpactFests and a big Impact Fest last week, which was I feel quite successful. And we have Cardano TV, we have Lido Nation Twitter space, our weekly meetups, and now Pete, can we add your information to this? Can people reach out to you and say, hey, I've got this project, will you interview me? How does that work?
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. Here's my booking form. Just pass it on. Sorry, I typed a little bit slow. Calendly is
good. I'm thankful
chat.
for copy and paste, because that's what I'm going to do.
If you want to drop your YouTube channel in chat as well, we can add that to the notes.
So this one would be to set up an appointment, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, I'm just going to add it to this slide because that's how I do things. We're going to take out this one. Talk. Oops, not yuck. Talk to Pete. It's going to do that. Oops. And your YouTube. Okay, learncardano.io. Okay, thank you for that.
How long you've been doing the podcast, Pete?
This one, I think I started in March last year, so not very long. I've been podcasting personally since 2013.
What type of podcast before this?
The other one was around a content management system called Joomla. So I used to work heavily in the open source development space. So I started a podcast around that just to build up interest, create leads, and talk about the tech and everything that's building around that.
Melanie, you mentioned Insane. You just showed up.
I know.
Simon,
Who else do we want? Who else do we want here? Just tell me that, because just say their name
That's
out loud.
hilarious.
I'll say it out loud so that we can just really make sure that this happens. But yeah,
That is hilarious.
isn't
Hey,
that
guys.
funny?
Hey, man.
Hey,
Neen.
Neen. I was just talking about Dylan and thinking that he needed to connect to Pete, and then you came to mind, said that you should connect to Pete, but it's already happened. So, you know, it's pretty funny for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, hey,
What time-
Pete, what's up, man?
What's up?
What
late for
time
you,
is
isn't
it there, Neen?
It is not too late. It is 6, but I've been having meetings since 5 this morning. So, yeah.
It's late.
Yeah, because you're the same time zone as Nori and myself, right?
He's in the Pacific.
6 p.m. Yeah, definitely. So, oh, he dropped off really quick. He must be that tired. I don't blame him.
Mm. I was surprised
Um,
I made town hall this morning at like 4:30 or whatever.
Yeah, that's really early for you.
I don't know how you do it. So I don't know what to, I don't know what to suggest. We do have, a slide deck of this Mini-ImpactFest. Dylan, I think it would be really cool though, just to walk around yours. It's on recording. I have the slides for your presentation in our slide deck. Do you want me to pull those up at some point just to show what your proposals are?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So
that can be done. Does are you presenting the Impact Fest? And then I guess Peter talked briefly about his proposals. His system's really cool from what I've seen, and he keeps improving it too. That's did he get into that much?
no, he told us a little bit about interviews, but not specifics on his proposals.
About the proposal, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, there's an opportunity there too. I mean, it's up to Peter, but I think it would be worthwhile going through as well. Yeah,
So
it's up
Pete,
to you.
are
I
you
don't
ready?
mind.
Are you ready to promote your proposal?
I think I've got slides. I did a video. I can't remember if I did slides or not.
Okay, so Dylan, you're going to take us around your stuff
right.
there. I'm going to pull up your slides.
Yep.
Pete,
Could you give us
don't
a
know-
brief
Yes.
intro to what your facility is?
Yeah, not a problem. So at the moment, we're all working in research for the University of Queensland, and we do a lot of research from looking at fuel, feedstock, and food, nutrition for humans. We're also looking and currently working on water remediation. So currently we've got some ponds full of coal seam gas water that we're cleaning up and doing studies for certain companies, and there's a lot more that are interested. So it's a bit noisy down there, but you can see from that pond, there's a little vibrating sieve. So we're actually doing a bit of a harvest today of that. It's not, spirulina is a relatively large microalgae, so it's a lot easier to harvest. And that's one of the reasons why it is the most popular, because it is easy. So we do grow them up. Over there, you can see those 200-litre bags. So we bring it in from laboratory and then scale it up there. And then we scale it up. There's another pond in here, which we have another very high salinity species growing. And then we scale up to 20,000-litre pond, and from that up to the top to a 200,000-litre pond. There's nothing currently in it at the moment, but this is a fifth of the size of a full-size pond. So basically, it's the same width, just 5 times as long. So you can see this. We don't. It's a fairly large size. So 1 hectare would be a full-size pond, and we're looking at many full-size ponds. Down here we have the duckweed growing. So that's another experiment we're doing. So we're working on feeding that to chickens and cattle. And it's a very, very high protein source. It grows on top of the water. And while our others grow in the water. So this is Danella salina. This is a very high saline algae. And it's at 100 ppt. So that's 3 times as much as your ocean water. And not much else can really grow in that. So it's a dominant species. It does turn red after some time of basically putting it under stress. And then from there, it's got a very high amount of beta carotene. So all your algae have different benefits for food or for fuel or what they are. So a lot of people are eating the spirulina that we grow in these bags and currently in that pond at the moment. We're looking more for feedstock for this, as it is a remediation and not so much for food. We can go on and extract the ficosinin from it. So ficosinin is the blue color that they makes your M&Ms from. So all of the blue colors in food, if you want organically grown, that's what they use. So I have some inside that I can show you. So we're basically a pilot plant. So we do test a lot of things. So we've got vibrating water extractors, a tiny little baby spray dryer. We've got indoor cultures, so we can test different lighting. We do a lot of scientific research. So we've found the best way, and we also work with plants too. So we're tied together in looking at things like that, and a lot of soil research. And a lot of what we have here, we look at for fertilizers as well as feedstock. So this is the algae that's come out of that vibrating sieve so far, and that's been running for about an hour. But we also have other products. So in the fridge here, this blue one is the ficosina, very bright blue. We've got a whole array of different colored algae. So we can get a rainbow of colors with them. We use them ourselves in cooking. So it comes out like a really fine powder, and we can use that to make pasta, pizza, add it to different things. We run the whole process through sort of a HACCP process, as if any food processing will be done. So once we do all our laboratory testing and daily analysis of everything, we also get it sent off in the end. And the products, we do CFU counts to make sure that there's no bacteria growing. We make sure it's all safe to eat. It's highly pasteurized through things like this. All the processes here, we intend to scale up for large scale farming. So that's the idea behind Algae Token, to get this onto the blockchain, having an asset token and also having a utility token that runs all the utilities. So we'll be able to do a marketplace, supply chain tracking, quality control through oracles. And that way we can look at the data and also improve our processes. Currently, this entire facility is off the grid, and we've just got solar on the roof, and we can expand that for our processing. So it's all off the grid, and we're just using the sun for all our energy. Extremely environmentally sustainable, where we don't need to for this particular experiment, but generally we will feed the algae CO2 and it converts that to oxygen. I know I've said this a lot, it's the biggest producer of oxygen in the world. And this sort of farming is very environmentally friendly and sustainable. The more farms we have and the more ponds we have, the bigger impact we can have. So we're working closely here in Australia with CSIRO, and there's other companies in Canada and Sweden and Switzerland that I know of that are doing active CO2 capturing from the atmosphere. And with that, we can feed that CO2 when it needs it. We don't feed it just pumping it through constantly. We only give it to it when it needs it. So we don't waste it and it doesn't just float out into the atmosphere, and that then gets converted to oxygen. To do more with the reason for going to a blockchain is it sort of skips the middleman of a lot of the processing. So we can do our finances, we can do a lot of things on smart chains that avoid a middleman and therefore streamline processing. So that's a quick sort of overview of it. There's obviously a lot of science involved. We're a team of chemical engineers and microbiologists. We've got really good legal experts, security experts, and we're looking at sort of developing our development team more. I've got a degree in information systems as well, and done lots of coding in my life. I can't do everything, so we do need to expand this team. So that's another thing that we'll be scaling up very soon.
Amazing. How much sunshine is required to power this? Do you have to be in a sunny spot, or can it be in, like, I'm just thinking Canada doesn't get a whole lot of sun year round?
Yeah, I guess sort of those, you'd have to do that analysis for it. I mean, here in Brisbane, as like Peter was talking about earlier, like we're very sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was just calling me. So yeah, we're extremely fortunate here. It's a very hot place too. So we don't have problems with sun at all. But we did have some flooding earlier this year, so we have to entail those sort of things. And Australia is a very diverse and it changes a lot. We have, suffered lots of fires. It can be extreme heat, and I think we feel the cold a lot because our houses are made to let the heat out, so they also let the cold in. So in winter, even though it's not really cold compared to anywhere else, our houses are definitely designed for letting the heat out. So yeah, we're just running through a couple of these things. Our biggest mission there's two aspects that we've been focusing on the most, and one of them has been the legal regularities for doing this, all the regulations and legislations for getting this project operational, and that is by far our biggest hurdle because there's not really anyone we can follow to do this. The standards are now being put in place in different jurisdictions around the world, so it is possible. It's just a slow process because there's not many people doing it as of yet. And then the second thing is regarding sort of a sustainable hub. So basically education of people. So the benefits to their health on the nutrition and what we're missing out on currently in our diets from the algae that it can supply you with. All your omega oils and your DHA, EPA that are very good for you that we're currently getting from fish. The fish are eating the algae. That's the source of it. So we can grow this, dry it, extract those oils, and we have very bioavailable oils that are extremely good for you. And we can start passing those out. And what we're left with then is a very high value protein, which is another excellent source of food. So those are the things we're looking at, focusing on food, but we can also focus on fuel, feedstock. Once we've done all the analysis for the economics and we understand what's required to get it profitable, and once it's successful, then we can start looking at the social impact benefits. We can start to turning this into a DAO, get people to vote. Who do we provide nutrition to? Are there animals that need the feedstock? Can we supply that for them? Is there places that need like a fuel source that don't have it currently? As we run out of fuel, this is going to be extremely more important. So we sort of need to get a lot of these things being built now for the future. So we're looking at investors that are looking for sort of smart investments that are environmentally good and benefit people in the future. So they're the sort of people where it's not a short-term process, it is a long-term process, and it will take years, but the farms themselves, we can build them so they are very profitable. So people can do good, help the environment, help people, and also make money. That's with the asset side of things. Yeah, you can't say that a utility is going to be profitable, even though they are. It's just those sort of regulations.
How do we do there?
Awesome.
Having the slides handy, having all the links, kind of cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Clicking
Teamwork.
around, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Teamwork, very cool. Neat to see your operation for sure. Nori, I'm just trying, I wish Yoram was here because he would understand which project, we should be promoting for Pete. MVP. I'm thinking about Earth Trust proposal that's working in Ghana, in northern Ghana. Quite an interesting proposal, but I don't know if it's an MVP or not. How close it is to being a product on Cardano. There's some really neat aspects of it, and that's our challenge.
I'd make exceptions, for some of the projects. Like if they've definitely got traction of some sort, then I can bring them on. I've just been criticized because I try and do outreach to other chains and bring in other people from other ecosystems. And when they see my interviews, they see one after another. It's just all vaporware at the moment. It's like ideas, proposals and whatnot, but actually no code, no GitHub repo commits or anything like that. So I get criticized for interviewing so many people that have no product. So I'm trying to change that balance, bring in more people that have solid teams, solid products that are close to launch, some sort of tangible test net, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And we can definitely promote that aspect of it and crowdsource. Like projects will know if they're in that state or not, and they can reach out if they want a little bit of publicity or airtime with Pete. So we can definitely spread it out to the impact and climate proposal space that because we're connected to everybody, so we can crowdsource that, so we don't have to ourselves try to find the right people. We have a decentralized network that should work really well.
It reminds me of one of our first events. Dr. Mihaela asked us, well, where's the tech in this? Where's the connection? Because we're very boots on the ground, right? And a lot of the projects are regenerative agriculture, something that's going on the ground, and we don't have that connection to the tech as much. So we know it's needed and we know it's there. The one project that I'm thinking about though is Earth Trust with Scott Poynton. He's the founder of Pond Foundation, working in northern Ghana, right on the ground with the people. And he has a business that is producing a milk alternative, working with the people there to produce it. There's all sorts of elements to this proposal that are coming together. And I'm not sure if this would be considered anything that you would want to interview or talk about, but I can share.
Yeah, share away. Like I'm just going through all the links, the Cardano idea scale there that have been posted in the chat. So anything that you've got there that you think is worthwhile having a look at, then yeah, sure, I'll dig into it.
Well, this one, so Scott Poynton, met him several times. He came to one of our events, and he said climate change is a failure in cooperation. He's worked with Nestle. He's been around. Like, this is not a guy that's just doing this to make some extra money. It's his heart and his passion. So this set of proposals is really incredible because it brings together an expert NGO, corporate buyer, a local team. He's connecting with WADA, Scott and Afia that was here earlier. They've met in person. There's this unique satellite tech that's coming in from Yosef out of the Ukraine. It's high level digital imagery that would be way too expensive for the average person to use. And this technology is coming together on this. I've got more slides on this one though that go into each one of these in detail. but this carbon credit validation, Earth Trust, decentralized validation, these different ones. I wonder if I should just, I'm just gonna give you all these links.
Share me the link to that proposal, that presentation. There you go. And then
To
I'll just
this
grab those links.
presentation, I'm gonna share you a better one than this one.
Is he,
just let me
is
find.
he the Australian now in Switzerland?
Poynton, Scott Poynton.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you for sure. He sure looks Australian with that hat, doesn't he?
I think I spoke to, I'm just trying to think of it's who I spoke to a couple of weeks ago, and he was, but he's now in Switzerland. I think it was.
It's very, very possible. Hang on a second. I'll figure out this one afterwards. But this is the main slide deck that I did, and as you can see, Pete, slide 24 on, you can do a control find. You can find Algae Token in these, and I've gone through these, mostly gone through the 200 proposals and done up these little slides for each one of them.
Wow.
And like this Earth Trust one, yeah, I was kind of busy for a little while. People did Loom videos to explain their proposals. This is what you see on idea scale. Lido Nation has taken this also and done such a beautiful job with impact proposals. But
yeah.
When I look at this one, especially this carbon making biochar, I had no idea it was so easy to make. And it's something that on our property that we could actually do. So very impactful. Decentralized validation, really cool proposals. So I hope you get a chance, you know, to, this is cool. This is a really cool one. Buy food, make an impact. This plant-based milk. One of the meetings that I had with Scott, you know, I'm always concerned about colonias, us going into another country and saying, here's a solution. We see that with indigenous nations, you know, here, we have a blockchain solution for you. Let's feed this to you and we'll solve all your problems without, you know, actually going. Scott does this. He goes in, meets people, talks to them. And at one point, this product was supposed to be the Bambara nuts are grown by the women. They get harvested and they were going to be processed in Indonesia, which is a high impact, high carbon footprint and impact to process it there. Scott relayed through Yoram a while back. He says, because I asked about this, is there a way that you could do this locally? So Scott tells Yoram and Yoram tells me, he says, let Melanie know that we found a way to make a powder out of these nuts locally. And this is how we're going to process it. You know, this is a guy who does these amazing projects and he listens to somebody like me asking these questions.
That's
and
cool.
He's, you know, he's a deep thinker and he does this stuff. So I'm, you know, super excited about this. This Oracle, environmental Oracle is, there's all sorts of links here and I'll share them. Well, you've got the deck. They all have links to them. More information whenever there was something in the proposal, like a video or websites, I tried to put them in. And if you can check out Yosef's information on this Oracle, to me, it's absolutely incredible. So that's the big proposal that I really feel is cool. And you haven't heard about urban farmer DAP yet.
No, but I've got the link up for it now too.
And neither had I until town hall a few weeks ago. And Lloyd was doing his closeout report. This is another really incredible application. He's already got it and he's working on another portion of it in Fund 9.
Yeah, I see they did an MVP in Fund 8 and I think it's launched from the looks of the report here. So I'll contact Lloyd. I had a chat with Lloyd the other week through Drip Drops. So
perfect.
We'll just pull up that chat and see how he's going.
And then we've got C4C proposals. you know, that we forget to promote ourselves, but that's all good too, because, you know, we're here to stay, celebrating 1 year of being a community, and we're into year 2 as of next week. So
very exciting, very cool.
yeah, so I hope I did them justice. I get worried because there's too much information in my head sometimes, and Yoram tends to be able to sort that out much better. But yeah,
Good
All
job.
good. No,
hopefully there's-
it's I've got a couple more leads there, so I'll follow them up and try and squeeze in some more interviews before voting starts.
Nice. And Magnus is really cool too. He works on the technical end with Scott, a very cool guy as well, in the Earth Trust proposal. So there we go. That was an interesting mini Impact Fest.
Oh, thanks, Mel. Did you have any
Way
slides
off
you wanted
the
to
slide
share?
deck. Well, maybe we'll do, we'll just do the, you know, mention that there's a couple more coming up, a couple more mini Impact Fests. And this is really cool because the European Town Hall is putting on an environmental town hall. They're taking this and running with it. They've got their own form. They're signing it up, signing people up to go to that. So that's happening. It would be today if you're Thursday already at 6:30 UTC. And then there's the Latam Town Hall as well. This is pretty cool because at our Impact Fest, we had a Spanish speaking breakout room to present proposals. And one thing that Pavon said was that it felt comfortable to be speaking in his own language. So this was, you know, really wonderful. So this is happening September 1st, and they're also organizing and running with it. So yeah, there's that. And then there's this kind of thing we're going to celebrate next week or the week after, that Cardano for Climate has been around for a year. So we'll have a big party next Wednesday. And we have a voter pick list. But the challenge with this, that's that slide, those 200 proposals, we aren't in the business of upvoting or downvoting anybody. And with this voter pick list, you know, we're encouraging voters to connect with these proposals and make up their own mind. A lot of these are community members putting in their proposals. None of them are necessarily vetted. But when you start adding these up in the challenges, we're way over budget on just social and environmental impact proposals in the dApps and integrations. Just from this list alone, $200,000 over budget. So what's happening? There's going to be a whole bunch that aren't going to work. I'm going to make a pitch for this one challenge that we're putting in, regeneration opportunity for Cardano. Fund 7 showed us that we're competing for limited resources. We have winners and losers, and maybe it's the person that has the most media attention, most introvert, whatever it might be, but there's stuff happening that we're really missing the boat. And this challenge is $250,000 set aside. Every proposal in here is meeting once a week. Anybody in this challenge is meeting once a week. We're going to figure out how to collaborate on what comes out of this proposal. So hopefully we'll be setting up a model on collaboration instead of competing. Because like Scott said, climate change is a failure in cooperation. We're fighting over limited resources. We're fighting over limited devs, attention, funds, and then we have forests and everything else that we're missing on. So this one, it was a crazy idea that I put in a couple days before the final thing, but so was Climate Change the Challenge. And here we have a community of 300 plus, 400 plus members. So crazy idea or not, we feel like it's an opportunity for Cardano, and it's an opportunity for us to prove that we can do something different.
Brilliant.
So there you go. Is that an MVP? I don't know.
I think so. It kind of is, because it's a proposal and governance side of things. So it's a little bit different.
And we've been
got probably-
practicing it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've got about maybe 5 minutes before my daughter comes home and I have to run and take her
Yep.
to sushi for lunch.
Probably,
Do you want to
for
pitch
Probably a
any of
good
your
time.
proposals before you take off there, Pete?
I might as well do a quick practice. You know, I should do this more often. I don't talk about
be
my own
ready with
stuff,
that
like all of
elevator
us.
pitch. Neen can do it just like that. It's like, Neen, you got a proposal, you got some minutes, boom, he's there, he's done. Pete, away you go.
All right, where's that share screen thing?
You can do it, Pete.
Yeah. All right.
I've
Is that
seen
sharing?
your YouTube video, I think, on your proposals. So Cardano
Yeah,
pressed it.
it's the same thing over and over. All right. So I'm building out a plugin for WordPress that will allow developers to build dApps really quickly and easily. So there's a real big friction point for developing these dApps because you got to understand the technology behind it. You got to understand the blockchain as well. And when we have NFT projects, we have small little niche projects coming up and they want to build on Cardano, they don't know where to start. And they usually have to hire a really expensive developer to do this. This takes away all that friction point and you can build something with WordPress with absolutely no technical knowledge whatsoever. You can install WordPress through a couple of clicks, then install this with another 2 or 3 clicks, put in your API key from Blockfrost and you're done. Its wallet connectors are up and running. Everything that you need to connect to a website like this, go connect wallet, connect with NAMI, does its little thinking in the back end because it's got to talk to everything. And then you're in. Now that acts as a single sign-on for a website. So you don't need an email address. You don't need passwords. You're logged in and you get permissions to the site. So you can do comments, you can interact with the site, whatever it is. And based on the what's in your wallet, such as maybe you have certain tokens, governance tokens, or a particular NFT collection, you get different permissions in the site as well. So it has a lot of complexity behind it, which we built into the plugin that you guys don't have to. So if anyone wants to go crazy and build some really cool things like all these projects have already, you can. So we chose WordPress because of that low barrier to entry, and with millions of developers around the world and even builders, so not even developers, it was like a really easy entry point. WordPress holds about 65% share of all CMS-based websites, that's content management-based websites, and 43% of the internet. So if you load up any site, you load up 10 sites, you're bound to be bumping into a WordPress site, and any of those websites can install CardanoPress and be integrated into the Cardano blockchain within a few moments. So we've built out the plugin. We've got 5 different plugins in the ecosystem that look after different parts of what we're trying to build for our own clients. Let me just get them up. Where's GitHub gone? GitHub. So we've got one for the core login and the core processing around it. We have a governance plugin, so you can use it for voting. We have an ISPO one. So if you want to run your own ISPO, you can do that as well. We've got clients using that. You can use it to run your own stake pool website. So if you're trying to get delegates to your stake pool and you are telling them to go to ADA pools, pull up this, look at the stats there, type in things here and there, it's a bit of a friction point. You can just go to the website, press connect, and you delegate it. Really quick, really easy. And we have a couple of other things around this as well that helps with the tooling and development around that. So lots and lots of use cases around this, and we have lots of community members already building things. This is the Goku project that's doing an ISPO at the moment. They're using the plugin to do all that. They've got calculators, testers. We got fish for dinner. And we have lots of really cool things that they've built. We have NFT projects such as Boss Cat Rocket Club building in their metaverse around that. So they've built and used CardanoPress to manage the lots, properties, and land titles within their project. And I didn't work with these guys. They just downloaded the plugin and they just went crazy. They only enabled 2 wallets, but that's all they needed. So that's the plugins. And then we've so far building up quite a good community. So we've got support, we've got people using it, asking questions, and they're just all helping themselves. So I'm really happy with the direction of the project at the moment and where it's going. The overall goal for these proposals and what we are trying to achieve, we want more testing. So we want to do more testing. We're going to try and get more feedback so that we can really refine this and get it to a nice, stable release. Get this listed in the WordPress plugin directory. So I'm working on that at the moment, but once it's listed in the plugin directory, it makes that installation process even easier, and it gets exposed to millions of developers around the world. So it's like an instant marketing thing where you can just go type in Cardano in the WordPress directory. That should appear as the first thing, and people can just install it, integrate it in easy. The main goal that I would love to see is for this to be used as a platform and a solution for agencies, so web development agencies, marketing agencies around the world. There's so many of them, to pick this up and go, yeah, we can build this and integrate in blockchain as a solution for you. And, you know, it's really easy for us. So that's the goal. That's the idea. I want to create competition in that ecosystem. So we have our own development and marketing agency that, you know, we're going to use this for and build client websites for our clients. And I want another competing agency in New Zealand doing the same thing. I want one in Southeast Asia, many in Southeast Asia, US, around the world, all competing against each other, building beautiful, amazing integrated Cardano websites and using this plugin. It's all open source, so anyone can contribute code to it. We accept pull requests. Some people have forked some of our code and, you know, done some their own thing. So a couple of forks on the main CardanoPress one, and they're doing their own thing. They've rewritten it in different languages into TypeScript and stuff. So it's slow, but, you know, gaining traction. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I saw a thing in there about NFT gated content, and that's some pretty exciting stuff too. So yeah, I love it.
Yes, we just implemented that last 2 days ago. Last week on Friday. We were testing on Monday. So depending on the rarity of your NFT, so if you got like an aqua farmer and so super rare, you get access to like a coupon code within the e-commerce checkout, and you get a bigger discount or something on merch. So you can do stuff like that.
Amazing.
So really, really cool.
Wow.
Mini had a question.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, are you guys looking for developers?
There's not much more to develop, but you know, it's always open to finding more. And you know, I think the main thing is, as this gets more popular and people ask us to build solutions for them, that's when we need help with more developers.
Have you thought about driving? Are you guys actually looking to get in front of more WordPress developers to drive adoption?
Yes, definitely WordPress developers. The WordPress community here in Australia has gone a little bit quiet since COVID, which is really unfortunate, but they're ramping up events now. So as soon as that date's announced, I'll be presenting there and connecting, re-engaging with the community here in Australia.
Have you thought of creating like a bounty or gig or challenge to get this integrated into people's websites and process as many transactions as possible?
Yeah, we kind of have a light paper around it with tokenomics to reward and incentivize people for using the platform. So we wanted to reward early adopters, people that are building thing, have voting on, you know, the websites that are building on it, and reward them with tokens as well. So we are working in that incentive, but, you know, it's not refined, and we haven't launched any sort of token yet. But it's outlined here, business model revenues. Where is it? Token.
Yeah, let me know whenever you guys are ready. I have a database of, you know, thousands and thousands of WordPress developers.
Yeah, and they would definitely all be able to use this for sure.
Yeah.
You got to get to your dinner there, but circle economy, you know, litter coin. This is like, to me, I don't quite understand this. You'd have to dumb it down for me to understand what you're doing here. But can you run? Is this going on the blockchain? Is it Web 2 integrated Web 3 with the wallets? So if we have tokens like Gimbal tokens, and I want to trade, Littercoin has Littercoin tokens, and they have 10% discount. at zero waste stores. Is this the kind of thing that would work for a platform?
It literally is the integration of Web 2 and Web 3. So it's crossing the two. So like you could do a fundraise for like Empower. Empower is a good example because they're doing an NFT sale at the moment with World Mobile to raise funds to build more real fire solutions. So having that NFT in your wallet, you can go to this website. The website will detect that that NFT exists within your wallet. And on the e-commerce checkout of the website, you may be having a discount to a live event or t-shirts, merchandise, whatever it is. And based on the rarity of that, you get a bigger discount. Or based on how long you've had it in your wallet, you get a bigger discount. Or based on that and the amount of Empower tokens that you have, you get a bigger discount because they can see that you're a valued community member, so you deserve that kind of discount. So you can do a lot of logic things like this. It's like anything you can think of that you can do in a regular website, you can apply a little bit of extra logic behind it with the blockchain side of things and just make it all happen.
So it can read any metadata off of an NFT. So
yep.
So you could do stuff like educational credentials, and you've taken this course, so now it unlocks this part of the website that is for meeting facilitators.
Correct.
Different credential areas. That's powerful stuff.
So for our own website for Learn Cardano, we've built in a LMS, a learning management system, and in there you can earn LRN tokens. So you go through the process, you learn, you complete a course, you get points. So you can claim those points, and they are like 10 LRN tokens. And
it opens up the next level.
One, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's the gamification that we added in behind that, so that you can have to complete courses or trade and buy course tokens to be able to unlock more.
And what about something like supply chain traceability? So you've got a business coming in, they've got metadata that they're putting on something, they can enter it in, could be turned in an NFT, and one that changes, that you can add more metadata to, as this, say, coffee beans go from this place to the next to the next. So this would integrate a business end of stuff, someone that's used to Web 2, and make this possible with whatever product would be connected. Wow.
So I was scoping out one for cattle. So you track the life of a cattle, the pedigree and all that. And that can all be converted into NFTs, and based on what you have in your wallet, you'll pull up that data on the website and you can see where that the cattle is. So I don't understand the industry, but it's about.
I've got to quit my day job and just dig into this full time there, Pete. Thanks very much.
Not a problem.
This is really incredible. Links, please. I did look you up on the web, but proposal links, that'd be great.
Everything is on CardanoPress.io, and I've got the that's from the forum. That is probably the best place to start.
Perfect. Now you can go eat.
Yeah. Everyone's hungry, so I got to go.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, that was amazing. Thank you, Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
Woo.
See you Wednesday.
Yeah, see you, Dylan. Bye.
This kind of reminds me of the project. Is it Joget? Something about supply chain traceability. Just basically, you're dealing with something Web 2, but it's solving everything else for you Web 3 without you having to know Plutus.
Yeah,
there's a few like that are doing the same thing. I saw a few proposals that were very similar to Peter's. I've seen Peter's a few times now, and it keeps improving every time. When we have meetups and one night he came in and showed us what you could do. And the simplicity of it for people just with WordPress, that's the incredible thing. And I've seen a lot of people also that are building these things, and they've got plans to do it while Peter's is already sort of operational and working.
Why would you want to reinvent the wheel?
Well,
right?
I can see why some people would. I mean, if they don't have a WordPress website, or they're trying to do some other sort of application, I can see how there could be benefits. And as Peter said, it's a good idea to have multiple sort of things going. But yeah, that's exactly right. That sort of cooperation. I every time I hear someone doing something, I say, you know, contact Peter as well. Have a talk to him, because he's doing a similar thing. You may be able to collaborate. Because yeah, there's no point inventing the wheel. But I can see how there could be, you know, his is specific for WordPress, but I also think that he's got the ability to port that to, you know, back to Joomla or something that he used the podcast for, things like that. Or it could even just be a standalone sort of JavaScript. I'm sure like Nim's got similar sort of ideas with what's working. But yeah, I really liked his system with the gating and things like that. So, you know, if you have an NFT or you hold some tokens, you can go to his website, and then you connect your wallet, and then you've got extra access to different things. So that gives everyone ability. That gives things like, you know, Cardano fulfillment. If you're part of the team group, you can go to the website, check your NFT, then you've got access to all of the back end information, you know, documents, things like that. It can work in so many ways for so many businesses, and it's great for governance. So if you've got a certain type of token, you've got the ability to vote for certain things. You just connect your wallet and checks, and then you're voting. Then you can have different layers of voting, which I've been interested in. So for more technical people, they could have like a certified NFT or something like that, that then they can say, okay, yeah, you're certified as
You're
a
the
scientist or an
expert.
engineer. Yeah, you can now vote on that. So there's all these other benefits there. So that's some of the brilliance of Web3 that we're coming into, and we're really just the beginning. Like it's this, people are just coming up with ideas, and there's going to be solutions we haven't even thought of yet to different things. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Well, it reminds me of Gimbal Labs and James. He started with the bounties, very basic website to do that, and he created a token, a Melanie token, so that I could apply for this bounty, and then once it's done, I get my Melanie token back, and I would be able to move on to the next level. But you know, the website lacked the finesse. Of course, he's got the technical background all figured out, but then this would be putting those both together, and it's like, boom, no need for worrying about developing the website. Make it easy in this. This is really incredible. And I think
WordPress is run by, like you said, over about half of the internet runs WordPress. So if you're on a website, chances are it's WordPress. So now with one click, they can install Cardano, have wallet integration. It's pretty amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, it is. I think it's got a lot of chance for success. Anyway, like he's got some good proposals there, and it would be good to get this funded to be able to develop it more. But I think it's going to be successful regardless, really. It's already sort of there, it's being tested, it's working. And as you said, more and more people are using it and just changing the code to use it. Open source, yeah, so that's right.
Open source, and people are building off of it, doing their own thing. This is absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he's also showing many, and if you follow him, he'll update things like, you know, these people are using ours, look what they've done with it. And you can go and look at their website and just be astonished by the ideas people have for using it. So yeah, it's really great. This Web3 is it's the new thing, and it's just started, but it has such great potential.
Wow, I think we might have to add this to our meeting on Friday, our C4C GTBBL meeting, you know, as a possible platform for our C4C circle economy.
Yes. It makes me want to make sure that we're running WordPress so that we can use the plugin when it's ready.
Exactly.
I'm the same. I'm not currently, and I'm like, I could do it in like a backend one. So you could even have different servers that are just in the background running things, and then you could have your interface that isn't even running on it. So you can keep it secure that way.
Yeah, especially if the backend stuff is stuff like through NFTs, like you said, you could give somebody editor rights or admin rights or whatever for the server, or for C4C, if they're a core team, they're able to do certain things, set up meeting agendas and things like that.
It would make life so easy when you're doing shareable documents on Google Drive, you know, like it's like who has access? You don't have to add it. It's already there. It's already,
that's right.
Trustless. You know, we already know these people have been vetted.
Yep.
They're experts in this field. Wow.
Lots of potential.
DREPs, NFTs for DREPs, you know, experts in different fields, you know, when they're doing a rating based on this metrics, we know that they're legit because they know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, this turned out to be a pretty interesting day. Neen, do you want to present? How are you feeling? Do you want to share something, one of your proposals? And you're on mute. You're on mute.
I can, but I feel like everyone here has seen my proposals at least a couple times already.
No pressure. It's just an option if you want.
Yeah, let's see. Let me switch computers. Can I talk about the bounties? The funded
Please.
one that, so let me just switch computers real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Fabulous. I like this when you have to, when you pivot, when you put, it's like being a teacher and you have all your material ready to go and something else happens and you've got a teachable moment that you run with instead of your material.
It feels
Fabulous.
more like one of those in-person meetups that isn't totally scripted. People show up and you kind of start to talk about whatever you're all passionate about.
Okay.
Yeah, and the connections are really, because I didn't expect that from Pete. Like, you know, my first impression is, well, he interviews people and he has some knowledge. And then all of a sudden this proposal comes out and it's like, oh, hang on a second, where did that come from? And I obviously needed to see it, but that's amazing. Yeah. And then Dylan's.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with Peter. His proposal, it's a fantastic idea and platform already. So that's why I was like, you know, Pete, tell everyone about it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, but you really have to check out his videos too. Like, they're sensational. He's gets into
where
great
do we
details.
find him?
Doesn't really learn Cardano on YouTube.
Yeah.
Learn
And
Cardano.
like
Okay.
he's constantly bringing out new interviews. Like, I think he overworked himself a little bit, actually. He got a bit sick for a while there because he was just like interviewing constantly. And I know he was up, you know, late nights, things like that, which I could relate to. And it's puts a lot of pressure on you when you're doing that. But yeah, definitely check out because and keep an eye on it because you'll be updated in many ways about Cardano that you didn't know about.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, this would be a neat video to share too, you know, for people just to think outside the box, you know, and be open to other possibilities for sure.
And you have the floor if you're ready.
Always ready. All right. Can you see my screen?
It's coming up. Yep.
Okay. So this is for a FA funded project proposal, mentor mentee gigs and bounties. And it's something we released about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And essentially the problem that we're trying to solve is that developers are very expensive. And even though many Cardano projects get funded in Catalyst, right, they don't often have a large budget to hire unlimited developers to push out the project. While at the same time, they're competing for developers with commercial companies that have been in business for years and years. Right, Google, Facebook, Amazon, and all the big tech companies are scooping tens of thousands of these developers every single year, if not hundreds of thousands. It's always about timeline versus budget versus quality, and that's the triangle of technical debt, and ultimately, you know, being able to deliver successfully on our promises. If you've ever posted a job, You'll also notice that most senior developers, they don't apply to jobs. They are usually earning, if you're in the US, high six figures, right? Or across the world, high wages. And early products and projects often need strong and seasoned professionals to be able to lift off the ground. And that's true across Web 2 as well as Web 3 and Cardano. Our mission is to get 1 million underrepresented and self-taught people in tech. And we do this by building a platform marketplace where companies, projects, and founders, they can build and grow with the right devs on budget without sacrificing quality through open source bounties and gigs. And not only that, we have a huge database of talent, about 870 million, over 870 million of people, senior engineers of their skills, years of experience, where they work, what they worked on, right? And essentially converting this centralized data to active talent pool on our platform and help people build their economic identities on a self-sovereign identity framework, right? Empowering people to own their own reputation and their own careers and identity. And we do this through a mentor-mentee process, where over the last year, we've helped already 72 people who came to us without knowing much of coding to land jobs in big and small companies. And usually we serve underrepresented or self-taught population of new developers. So people can come to explore.snapilla.com and post a new gig and explore the different gigs or bounties that are open and start coding and learning from the best. Explore bounties, as well as join those mentor-mentee teams. Sign up as a mentor if they are seasoned experience and they can do this project by themselves, right? But sign up to learn and earn reputation as an engineering leader, or as a mentee, someone who perhaps just went to the European Business University, the Plutus Pioneer Program, or through Hamburger Academy, and they want to have real experience of deploying a real application on-chain. We also have regenerative mentorships, when mentors, as they are leading and finishing projects and getting paid, they also are incentivized to teach and treat their teams well, right? Because they have star ratings, and because of this, eventually they'll be able to charge for their services, for walking people through the project. So decentralizing tutoring, decentralizing teaching and mentorships. So what we were able to do today, we released, we have a first gig from Tangent, first set of gigs. We have 1,000 ADA minimum. We take 10% posting fee only on this, only on the gig posting. And you can see I've reached out to about 200 developers for this project with about 85% open rate, 49% click rate, and 44% response rate. And Tangent is a small catalyst project without much of a brand among the developer community. So in the 7 days of engagement on their behalf, we have driven 20 active developers who are all new to Cardano. Just today, Clint has reached out to me and he said, hey, we found one really good lady who is a full stack developer from the devs you sent, loads of Web 2 experience and Web 2, which is a plus. She's in our Slack now. And I think, and I'm hopeful that we can recruit her for our full-time team after a successful bounty. So that's what we do, right? We help people to gain work experience, get access to real projects, learn, build their reputation, get more qualified candidates for companies, as well as, be able to hire someone within a couple of weeks, couple of days even, right? Quality of hire, eliminate and do real work, eliminate backlogs and do real work on budget. This was fun and funny. We got a lot of votes. Super grateful for everybody that did vote, whether yes or no, right? And you see this in action already. and we're continually improving and focusing on building this platform even today. Of course, my team, I'm very blessed to have them. They all do different parts, and we just hired a new CMO to help me kind of launch this and get in front of more customers, as I'm stuck in a lot of meetings like all day. So my ask is, as always, post a gig to drive adoption, to hire it, to advance the public good. Whether it's closed source, open source, we support them both. Simply go to explore.snambula.com or scan this QR code. It's the first link on there. For our Fund proposals, we have a couple. Thank you for your support. We have all perfect scores in many of them across, cross-chain collaboration, developer ecosystem, dApps, as well as a challenge setting to push funding towards open source and encourage open source development on Cardano. Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks, Nin. And I really love the open source focus. I think that's really important for how we're building stuff out in this ecosystem. And
Love Nin.
Thank you.
Just, hanging around with you, learning, listening to your proposals, learning your story, this connection, so important. It's like Dylan talking about Pete, these one-on-one, even though we're across the world, having these connections and knowing, reputations, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I love Nin as well.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. There you go. Let's share the love.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very much so. Wow.
Yeah.
I love you too, Nori and Mel. Yeah, I love everyone.
Oh, there you go. I love you too, Dylan. And Brian, even though he's so very,
Brian
very quiet,
is here, yeah.
Yeah, he's such a cool guy. See, there he is.
Right on.
Yeah. He's listening in.
We decided to build on Cardano in I believe like late February, and then in March is when I joined the second town hall meeting. I didn't know what Cardano was about. I didn't know what Catalyst was about, but I am sure super blessed to have met so many amazing people, including all of you here, but who just treat others and newcomers like you truly want new projects and new people to join and share like the blessing that the Catalyst has provided you to everybody, right? And Nora's been always connecting me with all kinds of people in the ecosystem and always been supportive. And I got to participate in the ImpactFest with you, Melanie, and hopefully many other future projects.
Definitely
make things happen. And I've become a evangelist because this is real. Like if we were in person, like we would grab tacos or something,
Sure.
Yeah.
Chips. I've got some
chips or yeah. And it's just been very incredible. Yeah. Like I always said, the community is the best asset that that Cardano has. And it's something that the competitors can't copy, right? There's only one Nori, one Melanie, one Brian, and one Dylan.
It's interesting because the presentation I would have done was why Cardano, and I think we're all driven here because of the mission of Cardano to make the world work better for all. Watching Charles talk about banking the unbanked, and it's like, yeah, I love this principle behind this. And then we come into Project Catalyst, where you're allowed to make mistakes. We know it's guaranteed that things will break, lack documentation, disorient, overwhelm, and then we're in this environment where we have this goal to reach the highest in human collaboration, lively and thriving and safe, which is really, really quite cool. So it feels, as a gardener, I think this is the right environment to grow and to thrive. So it's no wonder that these you know, all of us beautiful people are starting to come together and figure this out. It's about time. Yeah, very much so.
Very beautiful.
So,
yeah.
Anybody else pooped other than Dylan? Because you eat algae all day with all this omegas and healthy foods. No wonder you have so much energy.
Yeah, a lot easier at this time. I tell you, it was. It's pretty rough at 3 or 4 in the morning. Yeah, it gets pretty rough.
I can imagine.
It's a shame Dr. Sky's here with me. But we are actually pretty busy out here doing scientific work. So he couldn't join in the call, and plus we had the tour prior. But yeah, you've met Sky before, Nori, when he's come in. Yeah, it'd be good to. It's just he's not coming at 3 in the morning. I can tell you that.
I'm glad we have the space to make it easier for you all.
Yeah.
Whenever you have something to present or something to do, say it's at Pacific Town Hall, plan to do that. And I'm sure Nori will make room and we can advertise it, you know, because, you know, after Impact Fest and, you know, a few people from Japan Standard Time saying, you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock, and it's like, of course, you know, this isn't fair. To have only one event in one time zone and in English. So we'll get better.
Hard. That's one of the difficulties. But you know, it has to happen anyway. I like this morning I presented. I did not expect to be awake at 4:30 in the morning, but I was. And so I jumped in just to listen, and then someone asked me to present. So I just said, okay. But yeah, I was pretty tired, but got it done. Yeah, I'm amazed half the time that I do get in at 3 to 5 or 6 in the morning. It gets pretty rough on you in the day. It does take it out of you. But yeah, it's worthwhile.
Yeah, let's keep it sustainable. But yeah, I thank you all for coming tonight. When we started, it was pretty slow, and then people started trickling in, and it turned into a pretty good little Impact Fest. So yeah, thanks everybody. And I'm going to stop the recording here by YouTube.